Sinister Productions.
Yo, Jay Sinister back again. Thanks for sticking around, fam. Appreciate each and every one of you for coming back to the channel and supporting us in the ways that you have over the past almost 2 years that we've been doing this sort of thing on YouTube. So before we go into anything else, I just want to say again, thank you. You know why? Hey, big secret. We passed the 2,000 subscriber mark. We did it. Thanks to you, fam. We are over 2,000 subs and we're going to be doing a giveaway like we've been talking about. So stay tuned to a video that's going to come out in the future to go over the details of how you can enter to win. I'm going to tell you one hint of how you can become eligible to enter. Subscribe to the channel. That's the #1 thing you have to do. But again, future video coming out to go over the details, talk about the items we're going to give away, and again, how you can get in to win.
Sinister Productions. Sinister Productions.
This is a really good charger. I've had it for a while, and to be honest with you, we're not going to do the review on this particular charger, although it's a good one. And you know what? I'm going to keep this as a backup, but today we're going to be doing the overview and review on this baby that comes in this case right here. Check it out. All right, fam, so in this case we have in front of us, this is the iCharger 406 Duo Synchronous Balance Charger Discharger. And you may be saying, well, okay, Jay, that's just like a Pelican type case. Well, it's not a Pelican case. This is actually a case from Seahorse. We'll go over that in a second. But the charger is built into this case with everything you need to include a 24-volt DC 1500 watt power supply and fan to keep everything cool while you're charging. So let's pop this open so you can see what's on the inside. So again, first and foremost, this comes in a Seahorse case. I'll talk about that more in a second, but you'll see on the sides, we have these really cool latches right here. Oops. Everything is locked, but you have a little twist unlock mechanism, and I'll get closer on this if you all can't see it. Don't worry about it. Pop those babies up, flip the top, and this is what you have on the inside. Again, this is the iCharger 406 Duo Synchronous Balance Charger and Discharger. So again, you can balance, charge, and discharge your batteries. This is a high power, high current, high performance power conversion kit. Yeah, that's just a real fancy way of saying a charger for your rechargeable batteries. All right, this also has a max charge power up to, for this particular model, the 406 Duo, up to 1400 watts. You can charge and discharge a channel at 40 amps apiece, or 2 channels in synchronous mode up to 70 amps. So what can you charge in this baby? Well, you can charge lithium polymer, lithium ion, and nickel zinc batteries. Nickel zinc, which is NiZN, those are similar to your nickel cadmium batteries, but they have a higher voltage of 1.6 volts. So you can charge a whole array of batteries with this charger. Pretty much everything you have in your arsenal, you can charge and discharge in this charger. Oh, and by the way, it has an advanced mode in here to where you can bring back a dead battery that has a bad cell. Now, if it's too far gone, the voltage is too low, it's not going to work and it's time to chuck that battery. But if it's not too low and too degraded, this baby will bring it back. I had one battery that I had, really abused and didn't keep charged or didn't discharge, didn't put on a storage charge. Oh yeah, this storage charges as well. I used the advanced setting to bring it back, brought it back to life, good to go, holding a charge. Also, this has a 1 amp 5 volt USB charging port. It has automatic anti-sparking protection, internal temp protection. So this charger itself has its own internal fans, but since it's built into this case with its own power supply, it also has another fan to help keep the temps cool. So not only is there a fan inside of the actual charger itself, you got a fan in the case that's built in. 2.8-inch LCD screen. This is not touchscreen. It's all operated through the knobs and buttons down here, so it's not touchscreen. Not a deal breaker, not a big deal. All right. You can monitor your current, your voltage, the power, the capacity, the internal resistance, etc. right on this screen. Very easy to read out. Sorry that I had the reflection there, but very easy to read screen. Everything you have is right here. Again, you have 2 channels. You can run 2 batteries at the same time, whether charging 2 batteries or charging a discharge, 1 storage, 1 charge. You can do it all at the same time on this, or you can run synchronous, which I haven't figured out yet. I haven't learned the synchronous charging where you can run both channels at the same time to a battery. Maybe I'll get into that in a future video, but I'll just go over what I've figured out thus far. And it's all built in this nice case, which means you can keep it nice and protected, take it with you, and ensure that what you're going to charge is going to be charged up. Let's get a little bit deeper. Okay, let's talk a few more about the specs on it. Now, this is just for the charger itself. We're not including the specs for the 24 volt, 1500 watt power supply or the Seahorse case. Now, the charger itself has an input voltage range of 10 to 30 volts DC. The maximum input current limit is anywhere from no more than 60 amps or channel 1 or 2, 47 amps, no more than 47 amps max. Maximum charge discharge current in synchronous mode is 70 amps and in asynchronous mode is 40 amps. The maximum charge power capacity is 1400 watts. All right, and then we also have the discharge capacity is 140 watts, 80 watts a channel. Maximum regenerative discharge power capacity is 1400 watts or 1000 watts each channel. Maximum extra discharge power capacity is 2000 watts. And then the maximum current drain for balancing is 2.4 amps in the synchronous mode or 1.2 amps in the asynchronous mode. And the USB charging port is pretty standard, 5 volts or 1 amp, and the current limiting protection is at 1.2 amps. Again, you have on the inside of this unit, you have a 24 volt DC 1500 watt power supply. When you purchase the entire unit, you not only do you get the Seahorse case and the the iCharger 406 DUO charger, you receive 2 balance boards. You'll get 1 power cable. You'll get the balance wires, an output cable. You get a CD-ROM that includes all of the instruction manuals. I just went on the internet and downloaded mine. And you have some optional accessories that are not included, and that is a temperature sensor lead, dual balance wires for the balance board, dual channel output cable, and also USB data line, which you can use your own USB port to plug into. So your dual channel output cables and your dual balance wires are when you're running things in synchronous mode. Now for the case itself, it comes from a company called Seahorse. And if you want to look into the Seahorse cases, it is a Sierra Echo 430, and it comes in 5 different colors. You can get black, gray, tan, orange, and yellow when you purchase this unit. So let's go ahead and move over to the bench so we can go over a few of so I can show you some of the modes of this charger and show you how I have it set up with my charging system now that I have it. So let's take a move over to the bench. All right, fam, so here we have my setup right now, and currently you'll see that I have actually 2 bat safes. This is what I'll run if I'm doing a dual charging setup, but today we're just going to use 1 bat safe. So I believe we'll remove this one for now to make some more room so we can better show you how everything works together. So let me get rid of this one, but I just wanted to show you again how I set this up when I'm running my dual charging setups. You know, safety first, got to have these bat safes, or you can use anything you want to charge your batteries, but again, something to charge them in case of a fire, so you can limit and minimize the damage to your surroundings. So let me readjust, and then we'll get into this a little bit more. All right, fam, we're back. Got everything set up. We're going to run just a 1 battery test with 1 bat safe, which I have over here with all my different charge leads. So I have 2 sets get this straight, 2 sets of the banana plugs. And the reason why I have 2 sets is so that in each one of my bat safes, I can run either XT60 battery or an XT90 battery, depending on, you know, what I'm running. And it's easier to have it set up this way because there's only so much room that you can place wires along with your balance plug inside of the bat safe. So I just have 2 sets of banana plugs in each bat safe. So I just wanted to bring that up to you so you could see. So again, here's our chargingcase.com iCharger 406 Duo in the Seahorse case, ready to go. Again, it has a 2.8-inch screen, not touch screen, but it is, you can move this screen in different angles to suit your viewing needs. I'll try to get this as good as I can for video purposes. We have our power cord here, which plugs directly into the back here. We have a fan on this side, along with the internal fans in the charger. And again, we have the 24-volt DC power supply at 1500 watts already built into the case, so you're covered all around. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, go over the screen a little bit. This is how it looks when you plug it in. There is no on-off button. So when you provide power by plugging it either into the socket here, or if you have this already plugged in and then you plug it into the wall, or you use another battery for this, it's going to automatically power up. So again, no power on and off button, so you could leave this plugged in at all times. So when you plug it in, this is what happens. You hear the fan, and you get your screen, and the screen gives you the model name, serial number, version, and exactly the type of charger that you're using. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see this screen a little bit better. So let me go ahead and zoom in. All right, let's plug it back in, power it up. We're going to press the tab system button. And that gives us the option to change from either a DC power supply, which is selected. And again, I'm sorry if we're not, let's see if I can get a little closer. There we go. DC power supply, which is selected, denoted by the black dot in the radio button, or if we could hit battery power source by pressing this button here, which is, this is like your enter button. This is a control knob, which you can turn clockwise or counterclockwise, or press for enter. And you could change your battery source, again, your power source, from DC power supply or to battery power source. We'll leave it exactly where it is on DC power supply. So now we're greeted with the screen that gives us the information for both channels. Channel 1 is in blue, channel 2 is in green, and that gives us the information we need to figure out what we're actually charging and how it's being charged. So I'll go ahead and get the focus over on channel 1 as best as I can. And we're going to go through what we see on this screen. All right, so fam, right now we have no batteries connected, and you can see that denoted at top. On channel 1, it says no bat connected. So I'm going to go ahead and put in this 6S 100C 6,000 milliamp battery so you can see the information that pops up on the screen, and we'll use this as our test. And last but not least, we're going to plug in the battery, and now we should see some information on the screen, which we already do. Just as a note, let me close this safe up. Okay. So just as a note, these batteries are in storage charge right now, so hence you'll see the low volts on each one of the cell. That is no problem. I ran these through a series of tests. I think I ran about 12 batteries through a full charge, a discharge, and a storage charge just to run it through its paces, and this machine worked flawlessly. I'm going to go ahead and start a charge cycle so you can see exactly how this works. And to do that, we simply press the stop/start-1 over on the channel 1 side, which is going to bring up this menu here. This gives you all the options of batteries that you can charge. I did a test program which says the LiPo_2A. When you receive your unit, if you choose to buy one of these, you won't have that right here, but you will have LiPo, LiLo, Life, nickel metal hydride, nickel cadmium, lead, and Nisin battery. So we're going to choose this type of battery as LiPo. So we're going to press the rotary knob, and then we have the type of program that we can run. We can either charge it, we can put it in the storage charge, we can discharge, we can cycle, we can also do a balance only. In this case, we're going to do a charge, and you can see on the side we have the LiPo capacity, cells, current, and charge mode. We're going to leave the factory standard ignore on the LiPo capacity, the cells, so it can figure out how many cells it has. We'll leave that at auto. I'll leave the current at 2 amps, and we're going to do a normal charge balance. And we just press the start button. Again, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to run it? And we're going to say yes. And the charging starts. So we'll see exactly on the screen the information that we have. So we have what the actual channel is doing, which is channel 1 is going to be a charge at 2 amps, and you'll see the channel 1 flashing at the top, which lets us know it's running a charge. Below that, it tells us what type of battery and how many cells we have, which in this case we have a LiPo at 6 cells. Below that, it has charge. Below charge, we have a code which is O.cc, and the O.cc stands for constant voltage status of output, constant current status of output current. That will change throughout the charging cycle. And below that, we have the time that the charge has endured. In this case, we're at about 52 seconds of charge. If you look in the bottom section here, this tells us the status of each cell. In this case, this can do a maximum of 6 cells, and we have about 3.875 plus or minus on each cell. Let me correct that. We are actually, the charging capacity right now is at about 52 milliamps. So that is your charging capacity. So again, we have the charging voltage, which is about 23.340 volts. After that, we have the charging current, which is about 2 amps that we're charging at. And then again, the charging capacity of the battery, we have it about 62 milliamps. So we're showing now in the IR information page the cell internal resistance, which is about between 4.3 and 4.7 right now for each one of the cells. Then below that, we have the pack resistance. Now that's the pack internal resistance for the entire battery. We're looking at about 27.1. And then across from that, we have the line resistance, which is at about 38.4. Now if we move this over one more time into the info, we'll see the power, which is at about 46. It's moving up and down between 46 and 47. We also have the ending voltage, which we want to end with about 4.2 volts per cell. Again, this is factory standard, and I'll leave it like that because it seems to work for me. Below that, we have the lowest input voltage, which right now it's set at 10 volts. Next, we have the safety time, which right now is at 0. This is factory. And we have a temperature cutoff at 45 degrees Celsius. So this will shut down if the temperature of the pack rises above 45 degrees Celsius. And our in-charge capacity, we have that set at 0. Again, that's a factory standard, not changing that at all. All right, looking across the bottom of the screen, which is down here at the very bottom, we have information as follows from left to right. We have the input power source, which right now our input power source is DC because we have a power supply, and that's at about 24.5 volts. We have the input voltage. Again, we're running at about 2 amps. After that, we have the input current. Then after the input current, we have the input capacity. And then after the input capacity, we have the internal temperature, which is about 28 degrees Celsius internal. What you don't see lit up after the input temperature, we have 3 icons. One icon is the fan status, the SD card status, and the USB status. These will light up in green. Again, that's fan status, SD card status, and USB status. These will light up as they're being used. The fan status has different levels, so you'll see the green lines, and the more green lines you have, the faster the fan is running because the temperature internally to this case is rising and is trying to keep everything cool. All right, fam, that was a really quick overview because, I just received this a few days ago. I've been using it for the past 2 or 3 days constantly. I'm learning different modes on it. But it has a lot of buttons and knobs, but it's very simple to use. Anybody can get into this and charge their batteries. You don't have to have a charger of this magnitude to charge your LiPo batteries or Life batteries or Lilo, whatever. I just wanted to upgrade what I currently had, and I've been looking at these for a while, and I like the fact that it was pre-built in a case with its own power supply so that I'm covered all around when charging, whether in the house or if I want to take this out to the field with me. As long as I have an AC port to plug into, I'm good to go. Or for that matter, if I have a higher capacity battery that I can plug into this, I can charge right on that. It's good to go. So fam, we're gonna go back over to the studio, finish up everything again. All right fam, there we have it. Just a quick overview and a few thoughts on the iCharger 406 Duo from ChargingCases.com in the Seahorse case. You know, right now I really think this is going to be a beneficial charger for me. Here's a quick little comparo between the T240 Duo and the 406 Duo. I think this is going to be a good charger for my needs. It may be a little bit overkill, but hey, you know what? You only go around once. You might as well enjoy it while you're doing it. One of the things that I have a small problem with, I'll show you a picture real quick, is where the banana ports plug in to the charger. They're kind of close to the case right here, to the lip of the case. It's not a real big deal because there is a few millimeters, if that, of clearance between the lip of the case and the bottom of the banana plug. But it's just something that I noticed that they could have maybe raised this a tad bit higher in this case so that those banana plug leads are not as close to the lip of this case. Other than that, you know, we'll find out. Time will tell if this was worth the investment, but I think it will be. So, one more time, family, give you a little quick close-up look here. And that is the 406 Duo from ChargingCases.com in this Seahorse case. I'll put a link at the bottom to this particular setup if you want to purchase one for yourself. And, hey, maybe you'll need it, maybe you don't. Once more time, fam, before I end this out, let me just say again, let me shut down everything. Thanks to each and every one of you because you have helped us surpass that 2,000 subscriber mark. Without you, we would not have been able to make, 2,000 beyond my comprehension. 1,000 was one thing, but to get to 2,000 subs, so I may have misspoke earlier, but we're actually giving away between 12 and 15 different items to you, the J Sinister Production subscribers, again, as our way of saying thanks. And I will give you a hint up front, at least one of those items, at least one now, it's a 10th scale. So you don't want to miss out. It's just our way of saying thanks. We give back to you not because of the accolades. We don't need the accolades or the thanks. We give back to you because we're able to. What good is holding on to all these things, these material things, if we can't help someone else out? So that's why we do it, because it's fun. Also, do you, be you, and above all, stay true. You know who I am. I'm exiting stage left. Stay tuned, fam, because we're about to give away a lot of good stuff. What? Peace.
J Sinister Productions. J Sinister Productions. J Sinister Productions.